Hello everybody, I am Jay Shady, the voice of reason, and I'm here to talk about the new Walking Dead episode, Season 3, Episode 15, This Sorrowful Life. I just came home from work and watched the episode right now. If you haven't seen this episode, don't watch this video because a big fucking spoiler is going to be said throughout this video. Something huge happens at the end of the episode. This is the episode before the season finale next week. This was fucking awesome, this episode. It really got me excited for next week's season finale. It looks like it's gonna be fucking mayhem, fucking awesome. Just entertainment galore with this fucking war between Woodbury and the prisoners. Not the prisoners, but, you know, Team Prison, Rick's people. And it just looks like all hell's gonna break loose. It looks fucking great. And it just sucks that it's the season finale. We gotta wait till October for some more fucking good Walking Dead shit. But yeah, enough about the season finale. Let me talk about this episode. This episode was fucking amazing. This was great. Really set it up. Let me just say what happens in it. It starts off with Rick deciding he's going to give up Michonne. He talks to Merle. He wants Merle to be the guy to do it, to knock out Michonne and deliver Michonne to the governor. Merle agrees. He says that he'll do it. You had Rick start deciding. He started to question whether or not to do it because when he was thinking of doing it, he sees an image of Lori, and I guess Lori is now the guardian angel. She's like the beacon of hope, the image that will sway him to make good decisions. So, you know, when Rick is making some wrong, like questionable decisions, she'll appear there to help him guide the way to doing right. So he decides when he sees her, he's not going to give him Michonne, and, you know, this is now a democracy, not a dictatorship anymore, like he said it was. But it's too late because Merle has already hit Michonne over the head, knocked her unconscious, and tied her up and is taking her to the governor, so it's too late. You had a lot of great stuff in this episode. You had Merle and Daryl having some good conversations together. Merle's telling Daryl to grow some fucking balls, stop being a sheep under Rick and all this shit. Merle was like looking for drugs, looking for an escape this whole episode. He was feeling like everybody in the prison is thinking of Merle as the devil. They see him as the devil. You also had Glenn asking Maggie to marry him. You had this stuff, but it was all about Merle this episode. No doubt about it. Basically, Merle gets Michonne, and they're walking. He's taking her to the governor, and I love the stuff with Merle and Michonne in this episode because they never really had like intimate, like on the same page, positive moments. They've always been at war with each other, but this time they really had some good moments together, and I liked it a lot. I wish we could have seen more of this. You could tell they had respect for each other here and sympathy towards one another for the first time, and, you know, just some type of bond there when they were talking in the car, especially. Basically, when he's taking her to the governor, a bunch of walkers surround them a bunch of times, and Merle has to get out of Dodge, and he saves Michonne from getting killed. They hijack a car. Michonne's telling Merle, why are you always the guy doing the dirty work for people who have no respect for you? They're telling you what to do and you just do it. And Merle's telling her, you're not going to get under my skin. And she says, let's just go back to the prison and another way will be figured out of how to go about this. And he says, you could go back, but there's something I got to do. And he lets her loose and he continues driving the car. Daryl, who is searching for Merle after he finds out that Merle has escaped, meets up with Michonne. So he sees that Merle is on his own now, and he continues to track Merle. Merle is getting drunk in the car, blasting music and baiting a bunch of walkers with the car, and he takes the car with the walkers following to the spot where the governor and his people are, where they were supposed to meet Rick, where Rick would give up Michonne. So he has the walkers invade all of the Woodbury people, and a bunch of the Woodbury people start, you know, going fucking crazy, and Merle gets into like a hideout building, and he starts sniping on some of the Woodbury people. You know, I thought this was fucking awesome, you know, have Merle doing a heroic, noble act, really just, saying, fuck this shit, I'm gonna do this my way. I'm gonna go out like a fucking hero, and he definitely went out like a fucking hero. I love this shit. This was so intense, but then the governor finally catches Merle, bites his fingers off, beats him up, and then shoots him. And it was like I was expecting this to happen, but I just didn't want it, because like the camera was zooming in on Merle the whole time. It was very close. You knew something was about to happen. I was hoping Daryl, please come and save him, but that didn't happen, and Merle gets shot and dies. And I'm just like, fuck, no, shit. Because, Merle was, along with Rick, both of them are my two favorite characters on the show. They are tied for my favorite characters. I just loved Merle. He just added a different type of substance to the show. He wasn't like this one-dimensional good guy or one-dimensional bad guy. He had his flaws. He was realistic. There was something about him you wanted to know. He just was this this volatile substance that added a different element to what was going on. He added a bit of anarchy to the status quo and the whole order of things, and I loved that shit. I loved, disrupting, the sweetness of how everything is. And I love that about Merle, and he gets shot, and it's just, oh man. I mean, awesome television, but my favorite character besides Rick, damn it. Basically, Rick, after this, Rick is saying, he's telling the rest of the group that he was planning to give up Michonne, but we're now going to be a democracy. We're going to vote whether to stay and fight or whether to go. And Daryl's tracking Merle still, and he gets to the rendezvous of where everybody was supposed to meet. He sees all the carnage with the walkers and the victims, and then he sees Walker Merle eating on some guy's body, and he realizes his brother is now a walker. A very powerful ending scene. You have Daryl crying. Merle goes to eat Daryl, but Daryl's pushing him, and he's crying, no, no. And then he finally stabs Merle in the head and keeps on stabbing him, and then kicks him away and starts crying and bawling in tears. And this was very emotional, very entertaining, very dramatic, just high tension, high stakes, just awesomeness, and really gets you pumped for the season finale. But fuck, I didn't want Merle to die, and I just had a feeling the way that this whole episode was about Merle, I was like, yeah, he's gonna go. But it's unfortunate, because I could have wanted to see so much more of Merle. But I will give this show props for having, the balls to kill off characters, like not being scared, having no fear about killing off people left and right, no matter if fans love the characters or fans hate the characters. The show will do whatever they want. So awesome episode. So psyched about the finale. Let me know, who do you think is gonna survive? Who do you think is gonna die? Do you think this is gonna turn out the way it does in the comic books? I have a vague understanding of what happens in the comic books when this war happens. Yeah, let me know. Who do you think, from both sides, from Woodbury and the prison, who do you think is going to die next episode? And let me know what you thought about this episode. I am Jay Shady, the voice of reason. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week for my Walking Dead season finale review.